So I'm standing in front of a restaurant sink, about to wash my hands, and I go put some soap on my hands and rub it all over and stick my hands underneath the faucet expecting water to come out, and nothing happens. No water begins to flow. And I start to move my hands around trying to trigger the sensor, and nothing comes out. So I look down to the right and notice that there's another sink next to me, and I put my hands underneath that sink, and again, no water comes out. And I'm starting to get increasingly frustrated, and I stick both hands underneath both faucets, hoping to get some water to flow, and still nothing happens. And now I'm thinking to myself, well, I have to get this soap off my hand, and I go wave my hand in front of the paper towel dispenser, and no paper towel comes out. I think to myself, well, maybe the sensor's underneath, so I wave it underneath, and still nothing happens. And now there's this story going on in my head. I'm going to march out of this bathroom. I'm going to go tell the manager of this restaurant that his bathroom is atrocious, that neither of the sinks work, nor does the paper towel work. And I get some courage, and I'm ready to walk out the door, and I look back down at the sink, and that's when I realize it's not an automatic sink. Like, I actually have to turn the knob to get the water to flow. I look at the paper towel dispenser, and it's not an automatic paper towel dispenser. I actually have to pull the lever to get the paper towel to come out. And that's when I realize I have been conditioned by convenience. I just expect that things will happen for me. And I think that's true of our spiritual lives as well. We say that we come into the family of God through faith, and faith is something that God gives us as a gift, and we think to ourselves, well, therefore I don't have to do any work. It just happens for me. But Peter writes in 2 Peter 1 verse 5 this. He says, make every effort. Meaning at some level, if we want to see growth in our spiritual life, we have to put in the effort. Sometimes we have this mistaken understanding that faith means we don't have to put in the effort. But Dallas Willard says faith isn't opposed to effort, but faith is opposed to earning. And what Peter is challenging us to do here is to make every effort. He says, make every effort to add to your faith goodness, and to goodness knowledge, and to knowledge self-control and perseverance and godliness and mutual affection and love. And then he goes on to say, for if you possess these qualities in increasing measure, they will keep you from being ineffective and unproductive in your knowledge of Jesus Christ. Then he says, but whoever does not have them is nearsighted and blind, forgetting that they have been cleansed from their past sins. See, Jesus has already accomplished salvation for us. There is nothing for us to earn, but there is effort that we have to put into our spiritual lives if we want to see these things grow and develop. And so the question for us is, where are we being intentional? Where are we being intentional with our own growth? Or are we just assuming it's going to happen all on its own? Where do you need to put a little bit of intention and effort to see goodness, self-control, perseverance, and love develop in your own life? Make every effort.